Hello, hi Dr. Pogue. I'm Jeremy Hamilton. I'm your student for the last few months here working on my capstone project at Aspen. I wanted to thank you for your help and submit this video and go over some final thoughts and some reflective video. So, as you know, my project was on Hotsy Equipment Company, which is a small pressure washer company owned by Bill Day. He started the company down in Charleston, West Virginia. Back in the early 80s. So as you can imagine, in 1980 there wasn't a lot of need for high technology or some of the things that are now commonplace to us today, for instance, such as laptops and cell phones. Some of these things that we can't live without now weren't even around then. So coming that far, we have and work with some of those things. I wanted to look at the company and see how can we take where we're at today as a growing company and get to that next level in respect to the sales process. So our sales now, I first looked at how we're doing things, and I run the branch in Columbus. There's 7 other branches, 2 in North Carolina, 1 in Lexington, 2 in West Virginia, and then another 3 total in Ohio. So obviously we're a little spread out. We meet twice a year as managers meetings to make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure that we're doing things as much as possible the same way. But what I wanted to look in specific was to the sales process. So in Columbus we've got quite a method. It works well, but it's still more of a pen and paper. It's still on the notepad. It's still getting passed around a lot. And I don't like that. I think some of the times, 3 days later, I've went back and found some of those notepads or some of those notes that needed, hadn't been followed up on. So my idea and thought process I kicked around was a CRM. So integrating the CRM technology has kind of been in the works by our VP, Bryson Cox. He's been playing around with vTiger. And that idea came up from a mastermind group that he's a part of, that some of the major Hotsy dealers across the country are a part of. And on their conference call, they had mentioned how they've been working specifically with the vTiger CRM and how they've been trying to get it to work for the pressure washer industry. So as the project went on, I dug in, wanted to see, okay, how could we improve the sales cycle if we implemented this? How would we go about it? So we did the internal analysis looking at things. Found some good and bad about our company. Far more good. I think we've got great employees. I believe that we've got very strong skill sets in our managers that are so varied. Some very administratively strong, some very technically sound and great mechanical backgrounds. So we're all over the place in skill set in that wise. But we also still, I think that decentralization, just because we're spread out, is also a bit of a weakness that we found in the SWOT analysis. So as we move forward, we obviously try to standardize things. One thing I think specific to the sales process, a CRM technology, where we could work off of a dashboard and basically when those calls would come in, either over the phone, internet, email, however it may be, the web, we could look at an immediate way to track it, from initially what we quoted, which equipment we were talking, how big. We could put information about this customer, and then that way also it's not on a pen and paper, it's not on a notebook in somebody's desk, it's there and available for everybody to see. So again, with the SWOT analysis, we've got, I think Bill has had some employees that's been with him for over 25 years, which is fantastic. Part of the negative, some of their drawbacks, that they are not as willing to integrate in some of this new technology sales process that they've worked with for 25 years, and it's been fine. So there's a bit of a struggle out there. I did put out a survey, I believe it was there in the paper, SurveyMonkey, that it just asked, what is everybody's opinion? What do you think? And the overall gist was we need something, we need a tool. Not everybody knows exactly what that is. Everybody is kind of excited about maybe working with the CRM or a technology that would help us with sales. specifically since we're paid bonuses off of our profits, we all want to increase our sales and the execution there, that ratio, we want to get higher, so we obviously drive more revenue and profit. So after the SWOT analysis looked at, hey, how are we going to implement this? What are some other ideas? One of the things in the mastermind group that came up with the other major hot seat dealers was that they had worked with some CRM. It was kind of difficult to get along without an IT person. So then we looked, I also looked at my wife's company. It's a flooring company here in Columbus, Ohio. And they have an IT person on staff. They also had a CRM, and they scrapped it. So the CRMs, there's some in place that are great and fantastic for some sales perspectives, for some industries, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. You can go in and register or buy the rights and start using it, and it works for your particular industry. So whichever one that, I won't name them, but the carpet store was working, it did not work. And they were in the process of scrapping it all and starting over. One of the things that was successful for some of the mastermind groups was hiring a sales manager. So we put that out there as a possibility. That maybe one person manages the sales, distributes those leads to the branch, and then we work it that way, which would help improve our process, be a step above our current process. Then I looked at the possibility of hiring an IT or a project manager to come in to integrate the CRM and to get this project up so they could do the training and basically take that off of Bryson's plate so he could get back to the sales and the marketing perspective that he's great at. So we looked at those things. Those were the possibilities. My belief in the papers that the CRM is still going to be necessary. If we hired a sales manager tomorrow, we still need a CRM. We still need something to work with. We need to get our sales people out there with tablets, with a way to integrate and input the customer information, and to have that most current information on the customer so it will lead their sales directive on how they need to go with that customer. So the project overall, I think, was a success. I know Bill and Bryson and Ed all looked at it, read at it. They thought it was very good input. Something that was open discussion. It was great for the company. It was great for myself. Thank you very much for your help and input on the project, and I thank you very much. Bye.